So guys, today I am in a car on the way back from a music festival, and I am going to be talking about the Indiana Fever versus the Seattle Storm. Again, car currently not moving, don't worry, and I'm not driving, I'm in the back. I'm sitting in the back, so the people I'm leaving with are leaving, so leaving in like 20 minutes, so I got here a little bit early, and I watched most of the first half while watching concert of Ray. Ray was really good, by the way, but not as good as this Indiana Fever team were in the second half. They put up nearly 60 points in a half. What the hell? They just turned on aimbot. Lexi Hall couldn't miss. Kelsey Mitchell is making me look like an idiot for saying that she shouldn't have been an all-star. She was unbelievable again today. Caitlin Clark had one of her worst first halves. She just couldn't get her shot under her. She was isn't funny. A lot of games when I watch Caitlin Clark play, and I watch without looking at the box score, I come out thinking, oh, she had 2 or 3 turnovers, and I see 7. But then there was today where I thought, oh, she might have had 10 turnovers, and she had 5. So I'm looking at that, and I'm just man, sometimes box scores just lie, don't tell the full story of the game. I thought Seattle, ironically enough, Jewel Lloyd had a Jewel Lloyd game where every shot she hit was hard. She hit a fadeaway, falling out of bounds 3-point shot. I think it was the end of the second. And I'm okay. Jewel Lloyd just having a good Jewel Lloyd game. She's turning into vintage Jewel Lloyd. And I look at the stat sheet and I'm oh my God, she was just chucking. She was just chucking and hit a couple of really hard shots and made it look good. I thought as far as the first half was concerned, it was a really slow game both ways. Ezzy Magbagor, let's just call her Ezzy Maggobert, because she is the best shot blocker in this league. As far as all-around defense is concerned, I give AJ a little bit of the edge. She's the best shot blocker in the league. I think, look, if it wasn't for let's try to get AJ a perfect season, and by the way, I'm going to make this video once I get home. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Aces. They are not winning. Not only are I'm talking about teams that are better than the Aces right now. The Liberty, obviously. The Lynx are better than the Aces. The Storm may be better than the Aces. The Sun are definitely better than the Aces with Marina Mabry. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this Fever team is at least as good as the Aces are currently constructed. Because, holy crap, this Fever team is on a different level. I think Caitlin Clark ended the game with, 23, 5 and 9 or something? It wasn't double-double, but who cares? Who cares about double-doubles? It was a tale of two halves for Caitlin Clark, though. She was really good in the second half. The first half, again, was just scrappy. I don't understand the Aaliyah Boston, Damaris Dantas lineup. I know it worked, but they won despite of that. It didn't work because of that lineup. Damaris Dantas, I will say this right now, is the worst player I have seen that is currently in a rotation in the entire WNBA. She moves around again like she has lead in her feet. And not only that, if you watch, especially early on in the game, an awful lot of the bad things that happen to the Fever, both offensively and defensively, that happen when Dantas is on the floor, are a direct, not caused by Dantas, but she is involved in the action. She won't set screens. For someone as big as she is, she won't set screens. She's charming soft. She's the softest big I've seen. She's got good touch. I'll give her that. She's got good touch. She's got that one leg fade away in the post, which is a nice shot. She's not a good passer. She's the worst screen setter I've ever seen. She's a worse version of what Aaliyah Boston was at the start of the year when Aaliyah Boston didn't, look, it's very obvious. It's not a knock on Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston is the highest IQ center in the WNBA, one of the best 3 or 4 centers in the entire league. She's exceptional. Maybe if you want to argue she's number 1 center, if you want to consider Asia power forward, I'm not going to say you're wrong with Aaliyah Boston. She did not show up in shape. Damaris Dantas is a worse version of what Aaliyah Boston was to start the year. She can't set screens. She doesn't know how to short roll. She doesn't get herself free. She's got good touch. She can hit an open shot. And on defense, the amount of times that she would we've all played with players that aren't in shape where they will lunge at something. They'll just lunge or they'll make some action to make it look like, oh, I just got caught, when the reality is they're just too lazy to stay in front of their matchup. That's just Dantas every defensive play. I know, plus minus can be misleading. She is a worse defender than Alyssa Smith. I cannot believe I was calling for more in Alyssa Smith minutes. And there was one turnover that Caitlin Clark had where it's like she comes off a screen and Boston is driving to the basket. She kind of like tries to wrap around it. Ezzy Magbegor is playing help side defense and she ends up getting a steal. But I'm like, all Damiris Dantas had to do is just stand in the corner, pull Ezzy Magbegor out. But by Damiris Dantas just clogging up space, it takes away any sort of pick and roll option. Yes, most of the time, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark work out of the short roll, so it's not the end of the world. But no, Damiris Dantas is not. She's not it. Temi needs to come back quick. Like, just long term with this team. Like, Damiris Dantas is better. She's not better than playing Katie Lou at the 4. She's fine at the 5. When Aaliyah Boston is off the floor and you want a 5, she's better at the 5 than Alyssa Smith is at the 5. But there should never be a situation, ever, where Aaliyah Boston and Damiris Dantas are on the floor. I know it worked today, but it's not going to work. It worked because Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull went off. I'm going to make an entire video about Lexi Hull, by the way. And it's not just about her missing shots. She was what the Fever's been missing. If she can become an average three-point shooter, like she was in college, she is instantly a starter. Fever don't need to touch that small forward position. If Lexi Hull can become a 34% three-point shooter, just decent enough that you have to guard her, that starting spot is hers. They just need to sort out that in the Alyssa Smith starting spot. Because Kelsey Mitchell, I want to apologize to Kelsey Mitchell. It's very clear, you can see it. When she is on the floor with Caitlin Clark, she has been told, do not take more than one dribble. And it's working. I've always said this from the very start. The problem with Kelsey Mitchell is between her 2 ears. It's like she thinks sometimes too fast for her own good. Or sorry, she tries to play too fast for her own good sometimes. And when she takes more than one dribble, she becomes extremely inefficient. When she is just catching and shooting, when she's running to the basket, when she's going one dribble, using her speed to go by somebody, she's exceptional. Like, you can see some crazy moments. Like when she tried to do the reverse alley-oop off an inbound. I don't know what the hell she was trying to do. Where she tried to jump as high as she could in the air to catch the ball and fake a shot so that they both jump and then would land and dribble. It's not a travel, but every ref in the world will call that as a travel. Like, some rush of the blood to the head moments, but you can see the talent. It's never been a talent issue with Kelsey Mitchell, but you can now see the link up that was there with Kelsey Mitchell and Boston. Sorry, not with Kelsey Mitchell, Boston. With Clark and Boston is now there with Clark and Kelsey. Kelsey Mitchell is so much better when Caitlin Clark's on the floor and when she's off. Erica Wheeler just barely played. Caitlin Clark didn't get subbed off much. They held their own in the few minutes Caitlin Clark was off the floor. But second half, Caitlin Clark, that's as good a half as she's played. She was bad in the first half, like real bad in the first half. That was a tale of two halves. But down the stretch, when it came to, I thought there was a possession where it was like, or it was right after the tech, I think. I think she missed a shot and then got teed up. What was the second half? Something happened. Something happened bad the possession before. And then I thought she was going to shoot a frustration 3, and she shoots like a lob assist to Aaliyah Boston when everyone thought she was going to Alyssa Smith. And I'm like, there is not one other player in the women's game that can make that. There are about 3 NBA men that can make that pass. She's at that level. So I just thought, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And then the tech was obviously a frustration at herself. There were a few bad moments in this game. But all in all, when you beat the Seattle Storm by this much, when you put up 23-9, and even though she started off terribly, by the end of it, fine, like 30% from 3, 44% from the field or something, or 40 nearly. Oh, what was it? It was higher than 44, maybe 44. Either way, 44+% from the field. That's fine, fine. But anyway, great performance. Aaliyah Boston, look, we knew it was going to be a slow game. Ezzy Magbegor is that good, and she stopped forcing it through herself. She started passing. She started becoming a screener. She played defense. I thought Aaliyah Boston did exactly what she needed to do, especially in the second half. I thought Lexi Hull, unbelievable. Kelsey Mitchell, unbelievable. Caitlin Clark, awful first half, great second half. And I thought in Alyssa Smith, when she was on the floor, I thought she looked good. I genuinely thought, the box score mightn't say it, but I thought Alyssa Smith was pretty good today. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.